The first thing you need to do is you need to decide how much money you want to make in 2024. It's so important to decide a number, like to be very clear and very straightforward about the number that you want to make. In 2023, I decided that I wanted to make at least $60,000. At least, like that was my starting point, was $60,000. When I was teaching, I was making about $38,000. So you can imagine the jump that would make in my life and the difference that that amount would make in my life if I just went ahead and went for it, right? And so I did. I went for it, and I decided that 60,000 was my number, and I started a job making $60,000 in March of 2023 because I decided what my number was, and I was not straying from that number. Also, you cannot save your way out of poverty. Like there's if there's not enough money to go around, if you're constantly in a deficit in between checks, then you have to make more money. You have to make more money because if you're not making more money, then you're not going to be able to afford the things that you really need to afford to level up your life because it costs money to make money, okay? And you also have to realize that money is a frequency. Like a lot of times because society teaches us that money is like this scarce object that only the rich and wealthy can have, because we're taught about money in that way, we don't understand that money is a frequency that we can align with in order to attract more of it. And it's infinite. We There is so much money that we're sending hundreds of billions of dollars over to a country that's committing genocide. Money is infinite. Once you stop thinking of money as this thing is, and once you get rid of that hate relationship that you have with the money, because a lot of people be like they love money, they love money, they love money. No, you really hate money. You really have this negative feeling towards money. You feel like people who have a lot of money are evil. You feel like people who have a lot of money do evil things. Like because you have all these negative beliefs and perceptions about money, is limiting the frequency of it in your life. So the second thing that you need to do in 2024 to level up your life is you need to get a therapist or a life coach. You are constantly trying to figure everything out on your own, and that's not working out for you. So it's time to hire someone who's a professional, who's an expert, who has techniques and toolkits and everything that you need in order to actually heal your trauma, in order to actually do your shadow work, in order to actually work through the things that are keeping you in the same cycle over and over and over again. So if you are looking for a therapist and you're having a hard time finding a therapist, I suggest openpathcollective.org. Therapy for Black men, therapy for Black girls. Look up local Black therapists or local therapists near me. Also, if you're trying to do trauma work, I always advise looking for a therapist that does EMDR. Y'all remember those initials? EMDR. Because a lot of times Black people don't want to go to therapy because they don't want to talk through their problems. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to go to talk therapy. Talk therapy is not your only therapy option. You can also do what EMDR, you can do somatic therapy. You can focus more on just trying to get the memories out of your brain. You can focus more on trying to get the trauma out of your body. You don't have to sit and talk through every situation that's happened to you because that's not beneficial for everyone. Talk therapy is for people who need to talk these things out. If you're not someone who wants to talk it out or who needs to talk it out, find a therapist that specializes in EMDR, in somatic therapy, in therapy that is going to help you heal that trauma in a different way than what you see online or what you see on TV. Even me personally, I have a therapist. I'm in school for therapy. Like, I go see my therapist every 2 weeks, and now we're about to shift into every month. And regardless of what's going on in my life, she's someone who I'm going to see every single month just to make sure I'm still on track, just to make sure that I am sticking to the things that I say that I'm going to do, just to make sure that the things that I was struggling with before, I'm not still struggling with them. And if I am still struggling with them, I have someone on my side already ready to help me through these things. So if you want to level up your life in 2024, getting a therapist, hiring a life coach, finding that support is going to be a priority for you because you have to find someone who can help you work through the trauma, help you work through the pain, help you work through all the things that are keeping you at the same place over and over again, year after year. So, a third thing that you need to be doing to change your life in 2024 is yoga, meditation, and breath work. You need to be working on resetting your nervous system. A lot of times, some of the things that you're trying to achieve, some of the goals that you're trying to go after, you can't achieve them because your nervous system is in shambles. Your nervous system is so overworked, it's so burned out, it's so tired that all the things that you're trying to achieve, you can't do it because you're exhausted, you're burning out easily, you're getting overwhelmed as soon as you look at your to-do list. That means that you need to reset your nervous system. The easiest way to do this is to look on YouTube, find some meditations, some frequencies, some beginner yoga. You have to find something that works for you so that way you can practice your breath work. One of the reasons why this is beneficial for me was because what I noticed when I was doing yoga was that the better I was with controlling my breath, the deeper I could go and the longer I could go in that position. When you take the time to reset your nervous system, you're telling your body that it's safe to welcome new energy. You're telling your body that it's safe to let go of everything else that it was holding on to. And until you take that step, until you decide that it's worth investing in, and not even just financially, just energetically and with your time, you have to make it worth investing in. Because that means you're going to have to put your phone down, search YouTube, because you're on YouTube anyway. You're on YouTube right now. And find some beginner yoga, find some beginner breath work. So in 2024, make sure you are taking the time to reset your nervous system so you can change your life. The fourth thing you need to do in 2024 is you need to build a community. You need to find a community. You need to figure out what is important to you, what community means to you, what you want from your community, what you can offer to your community, where you can find a community at, where you can build a brand new community. You need to get into community. We spend so much time as a individualistic society that we don't realize the power of just having people that we can support and having people that can support us and having people that we can rely on and having people that can rely on us. We take a lot of that for granted because our society doesn't really focus on that. But it's time for you to get back into community. Find like minded people, find people who aren't like minded so the way you can learn something new. The fifth and final thing that you need to do in 2024 to change your life is you need to invest in yourself. You have to stop being scared of losing. You got to stop being scared of failing. You got to stop being scared that, oh, if I spend $40 on this course, or if I spend $40 on this training, or if I spend $40 on this service, that it's going to be a waste of my money and I'm not going to get any value from it. And all these negative things that you're already placing onto this investment. You have to stop thinking that way about investments. If you take the time to do your due diligence and research your investment, not over research, don't try to find reasons as to why you shouldn't spend the money or spend the time or spend the energy. Um, do some research. Look up that service, look up that coach, look up that therapist, look at their reviews, see what other people are saying about their service. Make sure you have all the details about what the service or what the investment offers so that way you are very clear about whether it's even for you or not. I talk about identifying your core values. When it comes to investments, it's going to be easier to make investments in your life when you know exactly what you value and what you're going for and what's important to you, because you'll find investments that align with that. Again, if family is one of your core values, if you love spending time with your family and love engaging with your family, so an investment for you may be a trip, an investment for you may be a family therapy session, and an investment for you may be making sure that you all sit down and have dinner together at least once a week. So these are also investments. So also look at investments in your life as anything that is contributing and making your life more positive. That's an investment. That is an investment because you have to take the time out to do that. You have to take the time, the energy out to do that. You have to set aside the funds to do that. So every time you're making an investment, think about it in that way. Think about it as something that's just bringing more positivity into your life. Because again, if you're going into investments with this negative mindset that it's not going to work, it's probably not going to work. It's not going to work. You're not going to work. It's going to be a failed investment. And a failed investment is okay too, as long as you did your due diligence. Like if the investment didn't work because the person you invested in was not able to provide you with the results, that's not your fault. If the investment didn't work because you thought you needed that, but then when you actually got it, it turned out to be that's not really something that you needed at the time. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But you have to figure out in 2024 where you want to invest your time, energy, how you want to invest your time and energy and your money, and research the steps to make that happen. And also, if you need a more clear process to research these steps, a more clear process to make these things happen, I would love for you to book a brain reset with me where we'll take all the things that are in your mind, put them on paper, organize them, and you'll have clear, actionable steps to tackle the things that you need to invest in 2024. So that is it for me. Thank you so much for joining me and watching 5 things you need to do to change your life in 2024. If you have any questions, drop a question below in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe.